If you do this, you have unresolved trauma. And that is documenting everything. I'm not even gonna make you wait till the end of the video. We're gonna put it up front. But why is it something that people with trauma do? Trauma comes in all different formats, but it can cause people to over-explain, always need to have evidence, need a definitive proof so they don't feel crazy. And having a recording or documentation helps to get our brains, the trauma brain, running correctly and smoothly, because we can actually refer back and see in black and white or hear exactly what happened. So when I was attacked in a hotel room in Canada, I had continuous footage. At one point or another, both of my phones were continually recording. As we all know, Stephen Z stole one of my phones. So I only have the evidence on this phone, which I will be honest with you is hours and hours and hours long. So there is nothing to take out of context, because I have it all. Do you want to see him jumping around like a lunatic nude? You want to see him going on more and more about substances when he asked me not to record? Would you like to hear the recording of the things he said about his mother that he asked me not to share? Let me know, Daniela, because we can share all of it. I'll make this an 8,000 part series where I just post every single behind the scenes video. Ask him if he wants that. He told me to my face that he doesn't. But as for my bruises that you say look fake, let's quickly address that. So we're gonna start with this one from 3:07 a.m. Because of the force he used when he pushed me down, it was mainly like his hand and his thumb. This is the bruise that resulted on my shoulder. This is also from 3:07 a.m. and it's the other side. There was also some discoloration on my chest, but this faded. And at 4:22 in the morning, here is Steven as we discuss everything that was on his watch. You say he was kidnapped, that everything is being taken out of context. He has his phone here. He can call a friend. He could book himself a train ticket, find himself an Uber. He could, if he really wanted to, walk and figure it out. He is a grown man. He is 39 years old. Anyway, at 7:22 p.m. on August 30th, this is a little over 12 hours later, it's starting to get deeper. Now we're on September 1st when he got arrested. Here he is, the cops are explaining to him that he has to leave, that he has to figure it out. His friend John was able to get him a plane ticket, but because he didn't have his passport, he could not get on a plane. So he had to figure that out. This is what's going on with the police here. That paper is, I had to do a written statement for his arrest. So this is September 1st in the afternoon. While I'm sitting across from the police, you can see that the bruise is continuing to change color. There's also a bruise on my arm that I didn't realize that I had the night before, so I didn't have, because I mainly focused on this, even though he was attacking my arms too. So at 9:31 p.m., this is what it looked like in a flash, with a flash. This is the other side, and this is my arm. Now we are at the following morning. So this is September 2nd at 8 a.m. It is continuing to change color. You can even see a little bit of yellow in that bruising. This side is not as bad. If you want to know how you can tell the difference between a real bruise and a fake bruise, they start off in either a reddish or purple color. Mine was more of a purple color. They turn blue or dark purple, which is what mine did. And then I obviously didn't keep taking pictures of it, but it slowly faded to like a yellow brown and then just kind of went like pink to normal skin color. Had it not been a real bruise, it wouldn't have been changing colors. It wouldn't have had a faded edge where like part of it was brown, the other part was kind of yellow. It wouldn't look like that. I didn't have this prior to the attack and it did not rub off. It was in the same place. Because of my trauma, and thankfully because of my trauma, I've literally documented everything. And I'm sympathetic and empathetic with the fact that you are so young and your prefrontal cortex is not fully developed. That doesn't happen until you're 25. So it is possible that all of this logic and all of this evidence and all of the proof is just going over your head. And that is biologically, like, I understand that biologically. But trying to convince grown adults on here that their prefrontal cortex is developed, it's not going to work. It doesn't work because there's too much evidence, there's too much proof. And I will keep sharing it. In fact, I'll share more. I have so much I can share, Danielle. I have hours and hours and hours of this man's nonsense that I haven't shared out of respect for him. But if you want to make me get disrespectful towards him, sure, let's do that. Because like, I'm not going to be sat here and called a liar when I'm not.